Yo, what it is, what it do, what it be, you know where you is. Yes, it is that time. Once again, this is the I Am the Possible podcast. Experience the place where possibilities become perspective. Yes, I is your host, Travell C. W. Lynch, Mr. What, and I am your self-worth specialist. Thank you guys once again for rocking with me in the I Am the Possible universe, aka the I Am the Possible podcast experience special edition. Yes, guys, it is a special edition. I'm so excited, man. I'm about to jump up out this chair, man. Listen, guys, this week it's not all about me, and I'm happy about it. This week, I got my man, C.J. Craig Edwards Jr., my man. Listen, this brother, I can't say enough. And if I start going down that path, it'll be a whole episode all by itself. But listen, this is a young brother I am so godly proud of. He is making great strides. He is moving forward in his life. He is like making more progress than I imagine he imagines, okay? Because I'm from the outside looking in, right? I see this brother, his thinking is on point, his actions are on point. The man is making progress. And today's episode, guys, is featuring a conversation between he and myself. Okay, we recorded this yesterday, so what you're seeing right now and hearing right now, this is just an intro. I'm going to intro this pre-recorded conversation between CJ and myself. And so I just want to give you guys a little bit of a background, and then we're going to flow right into this conversation. Now, we've been rocking for some years. I met my man in church, Pasadena Church. Shout out to Pasadena Church, the church with no limits. Shout out to our senior pastor and head coach, Kerwin L. Manning. Thank you for being just a man that has led me in such a way that I've now have had, and I continue to have the privilege of helping other young men like CJ to become godly men of character, men of integrity. So what Pastor Kerwin and Pastor, if you're listening, what you've done in my life is being replicated. And yeah, man, I'm just so blessed to be in this position. So me and CJ, we've been rocking for some time now. I'm close friends with his parents, and I've been a mentor to him. And in so many ways, he's been a mentor to me, although he wouldn't want to admit that. But again, man, iron is sharpening iron, right? So I'm blessing him, he's blessing me, and we've come into this season where we understand that we are like-minded in terms of who we want to serve and how we want to serve them. And so we are going after our young brothers, our young men. Okay, we are speaking to and serving the younger versions of ourselves, right? And so I won't go too deep into it because I'll let the conversation handle that part. But CJ and I, we are in the pursuit of creating a separate podcast platform that's going to be community-based, church-based, really just a platform where we get to serve our young brothers specifically, right? Because on this platform, I serve a larger audience, but I also have emphasis on men in certain episodes. But that, what we're creating separately from this, is going to be truly channeled, truly, focused on really empowering, equipping, edifying our young brothers and our young men. So I'm so excited about introing this conversation. Again, this is a pre-recorded conversation that he and I had yesterday. And the intent of this conversation is to show and to say, get started. You may never be, quote, ready. I think that's overrated. I'm not ready to do this. I'm not ready to do that. Maybe there is some validation to readiness, right? I mean, like, you do have to have some sort of structure, outline, some sort of vision, yes. But I think many of us, we procrastinate. We're going after perfection. We're going after this flawless performance, and that's stunting your growth. That's holding you back. That's stunting your vision, right? It is preventing you from walking in the great possibilities that God has created for you to experience. And so we wanted to show you some raw, uncut, unedited, just get started type of content. So what you're going to see is going to be raw, it's going to be uncut, unedited, straight to the gut, straight to the point, just a real candid conversation with two brothers just talking vision and bringing up ideas that are going to just bless you, bringing up topics that are going to bless you, really unpacking just some really challenging ideas and concepts that many of us hold and we're struggling with. So we're going to just let this conversation do what it do. I just wanted to intro it and just let you guys know that I love my brother. I'm so proud of my brother, and I'm so blessed, man, to be able to partner with this young brother and do some great things in this upcoming year and beyond. So this is my conversation with my man CJ. Be on the lookout. Be on the lookout for my brother. He's about to do some amazing things. We are about to do some amazing things, but I'm rooting and I am cheering this young brother on. He has made great strides, and the best is yet to come. This young man is just getting started. So kick back, relax, and enjoy this special episode of the I Am the Possible podcast experience. Let's transition into this conversation. And I'm not coming back. When the conversation is over, the episode is over. All right. Love y'all, praying for y'all, believing in y'all. Until next time.
Okay, so let me ask you, what do you do? Because that really ties into this whole episode. So what do you do when you have an idea, you run it by people that you love, you trust, you whatever. Now they don't either feel it, they don't get it, they're not vibing. It's not an instant home run. Like you say it and then they don't just like instantly say, boom, that's it, man. Yeah, dog, let's do that. They either say nah, or we don't feel it, we don't get it. When you bounce it off someone and you hear something less than instant acceptance, what do you do with that?
Well, from what I did with that situation, I kind of try to see what else they came up with. Okay. From there, if I didn't feel it, God gave me that. He gave me that idea. So, if I don't find nothing else better that catches my eye, I rather just stick with what he's given me. He's given me that whole what I saw. Right. I thought it was a great idea. Just the console is our body. Yeah. This is what God has given us. He's given us an Xbox. He's given us that PlayStation. And, through our experiences and through our, time being here, this is our game. And that's what's we want to express that.
So you was feeling it before you shared with them. You was on it, you loved it. It was brilliant. It was like, yep, that's it. And the whole concept, right? Yep. And then you ran it by somebody else. They had it, didn't have it, whatever. And then would you say that you became open to the possibility of changing it?
Yeah.
At least open to it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. But the idea is that unless something trumps that, you're going to pursue what came to you first. Yep. Do you think God gave it to you, or do you think you just had a spark of imagination? Like, a brilliant idea, a great thought, right? Just how like innovators have great thoughts for ideas, ideas for like products or services. Do you think it was a spark of genius, or do you think God gave it to you?
Well, just like you said, your imagination.
Mm-hmm.
And we created in his image.
That's what's up.
So, he's given us these ideas. He's putting that in me to express it. So I believe that, it was from God. I believe that he gave me that idea. I expressed it and put it in paper, put it on title, and made it come to life.
So what do you, so process that with me. So, and there's no wrong answer. There's no right or wrong answer. There's no, you did the right thing, you did the wrong thing. You just did a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So let's kind of unpack it a little bit more. So if you felt that it was a great idea and you just articulated very well, we're made in God's image, he gives us these ideas, why do you think, and your answer is neither right or wrong, it's going to be CJ's answer.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think you even ran it by other people?
I guess to get approval, to see if I, the way that it jumped out to me,
right,
in the way that I felt it, I was like, wow, this is pretty good. To be honest, I was surprised that I was able to come up with that. So when I presented it,
right,
and then I didn't get that same reaction.
Exactly.
It was like, hold on, did I do it wrong? Is it wrong? Should I, let me go back to the drawing board, or what do you think?
Right.
Looking for people's approval. And sometimes, that's the worst thing that can happen,
right.
And I've ever since I've been young, I've always, looked for other people's approval, until I started really getting involved with God and having a relationship with him. It's not what people think.
Yeah.
It's what God thinks, and what he's happy of, and the stuff that he's put into us. We should be able to express it without, having any fear or any doubt,
right,
that it's wrong.
So yeah, absolutely. So let me, because a part of what we wanted to do on the show is bring scripture and kind of back up what we're saying and back up our thoughts. And I want to say, let me see if I got my Bible app highlighted where I think I should, because the dope scripture just came out. No, not Proverbs 18. Let me see. Might have been. Hold on, let me see. Gotta Google it. See, many advisors. So it's a passage that talks about many advisors. Okay, yeah, Proverbs 15. Okay, cool. Because I had it in a different version. So Proverbs 15. Let's see if I put it in my easy version. I don't know if you know about that easy version, but
yeah, my mom actually put me up on that.
That's what's up. Yeah, that easy version is right.
Yeah.
So let me see. Proverbs 15, 22. So Proverbs 15, 22. So the Bible says, plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors, they succeed. So now this is the book of Proverbs. So this is a book of wisdom, right? So Solomon. So this is a book of wisdom, and it says your plans, they'll fail. They won't prosper, right? Because you lack counsel, meaning you lack running it by other people. But you, as a man of wisdom, you ran it by other people. It says, but with many advisors, they succeed. Now, when we hear that scripture, and here, let me read it in the other version. It says, without good advice, your ideas will never happen. Now we could take that down a whole nother road. That's his own podcast episode right there. That's game right there. It's like, dog, stop trying to be your own sounding board. Stop trying to be your own genius. Get some other people involved, right? Yeah. But this says, without good advice, your ideas will never happen, but you will do well if you have many advisors. Now, when you hear that, there's different ways that you could take that. You could take that like, well, let me not even put nothing on it. Let me just ask you, when you hear that, how do you interpret that?
With many advisors.
Yep. Without good advice, your ideas will never happen, but you will do well if you have many advisors.
It's good to seek, like you said, like counsel from people with good advice.
Okay.
When you just going to anybody,
right?
That maybe not even understand your point of view or your goal, with them not seeing the whole vision of what you see, then they're going to give you bad advice.
That's
because they don't know the whole background to it. So for instance, like me showing it to you, when I presented it to you, you were like, that's dope.
Right. Yeah.
Because you have the whole background story to what we're trying to accomplish. Compared to me just saying it to someone. Yeah. They're like, oh, okay. Yeah. Like, so that's what I believe. I think that it's always great to seek good counsel, and that's what we initially do. You want to make sure that it's going to reach the people, and it's going to catch someone's eye. So you want to definitely run that past people, but sometimes that could be bad.
Man, there's so many different ways that, like, I love your interpretation of it, because I never thought about how critical it was that the advisors be good. Like, because sometimes, like, if you're trying to start a business, you just run it by the market to see if people are vibing with it, people, feeling it. But then again, also by good advisors, what came to mind was, people see things not as they are, but as they are. And I forgot where I got that quote from, but people don't see things as they are. They see things as they are. So I don't look at this mic, right? So like that's some game right there. I don't look at this mic and say, I see the mic for what it is, without some sort of meditative practice. Right. And again, that's a whole nother episode. We'll talk about that later, because I believe every man needs meditation. That's a core principle. Every man needs it. Every man is doing it. They just don't know that they're doing it. So a lot of men don't think that it's very masculine to do it, but they don't understand that they're already doing it. They're just maybe doing it in a way that's not beneficial to them. Again, so that's a whole nother show. When I look at this mic, I don't look at the mic actually for what the mic is. I look at it as I am, or as I is, right? And by the way, I don't care about English. I just chop it all up because I love life and I just have fun. So, but when I look at this mic, I'm like, yo, this mic is a tool for me to communicate life transforming ideas. Another person will look at that mic and say, that's a Rode mic. I'm not wrong. They're not wrong. They just see it through their lenses. Right. So it's dope when you start thinking about, I'm gonna go get this advice because I want my plans to succeed. But to your point, which opens it up even further, careful who you ask. Like, consider the source, because who you ask, and I'm not saying that the people that you ran it by were right or wrong. It's just they didn't give you real perspective on the thing. They gave you their opinion, which what I've been taught by my mentors is a person's opinion is one of two things: what they've done in that same situation, or what they would do in that same situation. That's when you say, man, give me your opinion on this. They're going to search their memory bank and they're going to pull one of two things: what they've already done given that circumstance, or what they would do if given that circumstance. The danger in that is it's what they would do. Based upon their history, the things that they grew up on, the pains that they've suffered, the struggles that they've had, the victories that they've had, the success that they've had or not had. All of that plays up into making a person their console, right? It creates their console. And based upon that counsel, you go approaching them, say, yo, man, what you think about this idea? You're not even thinking to yourself, this cat been abused all of his life. You're not even thinking this cat don't give a damn about nothing or nobody. You're not even thinking this cat is on the edge of suicide. When he gives you his opinion, all of that comes with it. So it's like real important that we do start with God like you did, and then share it with the I'm trying to think of the word, but basically sharing it with the, already positioned in your mind. I'm going to run it by them to see what they think, but what they think is not the gospel. What they think is not my truth, is not the truth. It's truly their opinion. Yeah. And then you have to evaluate ahead of time, what will their opinion be? Because sometimes we go into it and we say, subconsciously, we'll go in and say, yo, man, what you think about my new, matter of fact, here, like real talk, like this is my new hat. Like this is the brand. Yo, CJ, what you think about my new hat, dog?
I like it. It's pretty cool.
Boom.
I would rock it.
You would rock it, right? Yeah. Okay, there it is. And I should have brought you one. See, should have followed my first mind. I'm gonna bring you one next time. Cool. Now, here's the thing. I could go into that and say, yo, man, what you think about my new cap? And have nothing predetermined in terms of what I do with that information. Subconsciously, when I say, yo, man, what you think about this hat? Most of the time, I'm looking for approval. If he likes it, yes. Yeah. If he don't like it, damn, what's wrong with it? Yeah. If I go into it, I already know this is dope. I'm running it by you to see if there's a possibility that I could sell you one. Now, if you don't like it, oh, well, that's not a sale. But it doesn't diminish it. Yeah. Because I went in predetermined on what your advice would mean to that. Okay. And most cats just run in, hey man, what do you think about my new, oh man, that stinks. And then they internalize it. And now I stink. And what I put my hard-earned money into stinks. And my idea, my concept stinks. So it's just real careful, man. Like it's so wise to be careful with like you said, who we go to, but then also when we go to them, how are we positioning ourselves to receive what they say? Yeah.
I think another good point is there could be a possibility of the way that I explained it too.
There you go. Okay.
So, maybe I didn't give them enough information. So like for instance, for your hat, if someone looks at it, they don't know what IATP means. I know what it means.
You're right.
So, I know the background to it. So I'm like, bam, of course I would rock that. There you go. See, but if you just randomly came up to a person and showed them that, they'd be like, IATP. Like, right. We didn't provide enough information too. So that's a good point that, while you were saying that, I was like, maybe I didn't explain it all the way. Or maybe I didn't, because again, it was through text.
Oh, man, that's super. Yeah, that's a whole other path.
Yeah.
They so, in their emotional state.
Exactly. Wow. I didn't, wasn't in front of them and said it and explained it. Okay. So that's another point that, when you're seeking advice or when you're seeking, you have to lay out everything. Yeah. You have to explain everything to, get that the advice you would want. Yeah. The correct advice, right. Whether it's a good or bad thing, Wow.
Man, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. See how there's so many layers to everything. And it's like when you open up life through conversation, it's all the layers, man. And you got to think like how many lives and how many people, especially our brothers, are being shot down because they'll come up with an idea to try to better themselves. Yeah. Or man, I'm thinking about going back to school. Then they get around cats that they're not articulate enough to give them the backstory. Yeah. All they saying is, yo, man, I'm about to do this with no backstory. So that covers your part, what you explained. And then the source is probably not the best source to be running hopes and dreams by because they're coming out of their context. And in a weird way, we're still following the word of God. We're like still trying to do what the wise book says to do, but there's layers to how you go about doing it. Yeah. And I think that's a part of, you know, what we can accomplish, you know, through this platform. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, we are now addressing you, the listener, the watcher. We came into this conversation with no script, no idea really what we would share and what we would say, other than we wanted to be candid. We wanted to be honest. We wanted to be genuine. We wanted to be authentic. We wanted to just flow with the conversation. And we wanted to show you the process. If you are a young man out there who has a hope, a dream, a vision, we wanted to show you what it means to move forward and to not continue to procrastinate. This is a podcast, video podcast, audio podcast. There's a lot of components to podcasting, whether it's the mics, the interfaces, the headphones, whether it's lighting, whether it's sound, right? All of these different things that go into creating a high quality production. And as you can see right now, CJ and I we don't currently have in front of us right now these boom stands, these mic stands. They're already on order, but we didn't wait until we had them and we connected them. You can also tell by the audio, by the video quality, that I didn't bring my LED lights, and so we don't have any lights set up in front of us. The actual sound of this episode will not be as great as the sound going forward because we didn't set all the channels properly and we don't have the mics set up, you know, at the perfect angle and all these different things. But this was all done by design. This is all done on purpose because I've seen in my own life, and maybe you can attest to this and definitely share. But I've seen in my own life where I've allowed the pursuit of perfection to just prevent everything, right? And I'm a preacher, so I'm gonna just stick with my P's, right? I've allowed procrastination, the pursuit of procrastination, to just completely prevent my possibilities, right? The things that I want to do and create in my life, because I kept waiting for the perfect time, and I waited for them to do this. I was waiting for they to do this. I was waiting to get this. I was waiting to get that. I was waiting for that to connect just perfectly. And then I was waiting for this to ship from Amazon. And then I was waiting for that. And I was waiting. And the truth is, man, we don't know how much time we got. And that's just real talk, dude. Yeah. And I've got some close friends of mine, co-workers, as well as family members who just one was the day before Thanksgiving. Okay. Family member passed away. Husband actually, man, passed away. This is my brother-in-law's family side. Okay. But the day before Thanksgiving, early in the morning, actually, I think it was Thanksgiving morning. It was just like 2 a.m. Cat passed away. And then a coworker, his grandfather, who he was super close with, I think that was on Tuesday. So that was 2 days before Thanksgiving. My point is, dude, we don't know when we're going, and we don't know the time or the hour or the day. Yeah. And we don't want to regret. We don't want to sit back and say we wish we would have done. We don't want to be those who had time to contribute, had time to do something with our lives. We had time to turn things around, but we just kept waiting. And so CJ didn't even know that we were going to record this episode, but I wanted it to be imperfect. I wanted it to be flawed. I didn't want to have my thoughts all together. I didn't want to be scripted. I didn't want him prepared and scripted. This is sort of my surprise on him as we're starting this platform, because I see value in showing the process and showing and being examples. And that's what we are, examples of men with hope, men with a vision, men with a dream. And we cannot continue to wait for things and people. Otherwise, it'll just never happen. It'll never start. It'll never get going. We'll keep pushing it out further, procrastinating, coming up with narratives and stories as to why we got to wait one more day, one more week, one more month, one more year, and we'll look up and we'll be old men who have compiled nothing but a mountain of regret, because we'll look back at all the time that we had and we spent it. We invested all of that time in procrastination rather than the pursuit of a worthwhile goal. And so any man that's watching this, that's listening to this, this is all by design. We want you to see the flaws. We want you to see the mess ups, the hiccups. We're not going to edit this. We're not going to take anything out. We're not going to make it perfect, because life ain't perfect. You ain't perfect. I ain't perfect. He ain't perfect. None of it is perfect, but we can experience great progress. So I'm gonna go ahead and zip it up, man. What do you think, just in terms of this experience, even so far in this episode? We ain't got the lighting, we ain't got the stands, we ain't dressed perfectly, we ain't dipped and dripped in some fashion design, we ain't got the dope backdrops and virtual backgrounds. We ain't got none of that. We just got us, and we got real talk, and we got a heart and a passion for helping brothers to grow and to develop in the way that God created us to. So just share whatever your thoughts are with moving forward and not having nothing quote in place.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty similar in that way, with the perfection thing, waiting for the right time, waiting for the right person, waiting for, you start doing that. Next thing you know, you wake up, you've done nothing.
Nothing.
He's still in the same spot,
right?
Still in debt, still in I wish I could. I wish I could do this. I want to do this. And like when I was young in high school, everybody wanted to be a ball player. So right. I thought, hey, I'll become this ball player. I'll eventually help my community. Get rid of this, or try to get rid of this, gang member mentality that us men grow up with around here. And it's becoming too much. A lot of young men are getting shot, getting killed by each other. And that's the crazy part. Every week now we're seeing young men go up in stores and places, public places, intentionally killing people, and we have to do something about it, and like I said, I thought I was going to be able to be this rich ball player, come into the community, paid everything, and that dream passed. I eventually blocked that dream out because I didn't become a ball player, going from job to job, just dealing with life, but having a mentor and you as a mentor, and just having a mentor period, it's changed my life. So it's put that dream back in me.
That's what's up, man.
So now I'm fully awake, and I want to do something about it. And I'm writing down notes. I'm taking, listening to things, listening to 50 things, and we're coming up with this idea of collaborating, and then I'm still, I just need to do a little bit more research. I just need to get it done. Start it. So and that's what I appreciate about you, because you pushed me and said go. And that's what we need. We need men that care. We need men to help out this community, so that way we can help out state, and it goes worldwide, where we can have this place where men can come and branch out their ideas and come and express their feelings, without taking someone's life, because that's you don't come back from that. You get one, man. You get one. That's it. You get one concert. So
right. See, man.
So it's a child. Everybody's, I think everybody understands that life comes with problems. That's just given. You know, you just gotta fight your way through, and you know, you need God on your side. That's for sure. You definitely need him. So,
oh man, those are such great points, man. I'm just trying to lean in and to be conscious to the sound pickup.
okay.
But no, I was gonna jump in, but I didn't want to break your flow, man. One thing that we and as you can already tell, it's conversation, it's connection with you guys. We just keep it fluid. For those of you who watch First Take, it's fluid, right? We keep it fluid, right? Shout out to Stephen A. Smith, right? Hopefully one day he'll catch an episode, right? Throw us out there on ESPN or something, man. But no, it's fluid. But you were saying about mentorship, and you know, we won't get deep into it in this episode. But one of the things that I believe in is that every man needs a mentor. Every man needs every man needs mentorship, not just a mentor in terms of like an icon or like, oh, I learned from this person, but we need like mentorship where there's a person that's connecting back to you. Like there's nothing wrong with like virtual, nothing wrong with listening to, I don't know, whoever y'all listen to or whoever y'all watch, even if it's a rapper, entertainer, it ain't got to be like a motivational speaker or some guru or something like that. There's just anyone that you listen to and you vibe with and you take information from them, they could be considered a mentor. So I think just in and of itself, having someone other than yourself investing in your character building is of great value. But mentorship is someone who gets in the boat, in the ship with you. And there's someone who talks back to you, not just, you know, because a speaker could be on a stage speaking to a multitude and you're hearing from that person. But mentorship is one-on-one. So that has to be someone in your community, your church, your family, your school. They're out there. And even if you have to go to the extent of paying for a coach, someone that you have to pay an hourly rate to, but at least they're talking to you directly, not just a crowd and you're picking up little nuggets of wisdom, but they actually know you on a deeper and personal level. In my own life, I've got a mentor for like the 4 areas of life that mean the most to me. Physical stuff, spiritual stuff, personal development stuff, and then just my worldview, meaning getting outside of America, getting outside of Christianity, getting outside of travail. Like I need that person that pushes me to, oh yeah, there is a China. Oh yeah, there is a Russia. Oh yeah, there is a Haiti. Oh, there is a Poland. Like this thing is real all the way around. It ain't just your little America. So anyway, my point is that when you got people in your life that can speak into your life, that can expand your worldview and pour into those areas that matter most, you really grow at a rapid pace. I know Tony Robbins talks about every person needs a coach. And then Eric Thomas, you know, he talks about every man needs a coach. And I just use the word mentor because it means something different, excuse me, to me. But yeah, for those of you who are out there, man, listening, one of the things that I at least envision is this platform being somewhat of a mentor. Each episode helping to mentor you in some way, to where you can pull wisdom, you know, from what it is that we're sharing. And you know, you can connect with us. We'll come up with the hows to connect with us and how we can connect with you on a more personal level. But when you brought that up, that was real, because that's one of my core things.
Yeah.
Every man needs a mentor, man.
Yeah, definitely. I live by it right now, and it's helped me tremendously. You know, my relationship with God, my relationship, you know, with family, taking things seriously now, you know, because like you said, you don't know when your time is, and you know, you want to enjoy life, not sit here and struggle day in and day out, being in the same rut, you know, just going in circles like a dog after his tail.
Yeah.
Just going in circles.
Yeah.
And you're just going through life, and it's just, and it, you know, you find yourself going year after year of just working and kids, and you know, you just lose sight of life, you know, and that's, you know, that's depressing. And you see a lot of people in depression, anxiety, and things like that, you know. Sometimes you need to get away, sometimes you need to talk, you know, and that's what, you know, we want to create this platform to have men, you know, come to us with ideas, or you know, your expressions, your views on things that, even if you think that we're wrong about,
Right.
you know, we want your opinion. We would love that.
Right, seriously.
You know, for you guys to reach out to us, and you know, we don't have to say names, we don't have to point you out unless you want to.
Right.
But, you know,
right.
And you know, it's totally fine with us, but that'll give us, you know, good content. For and be real. You know, that's the main thing that we want to do, is be real about our situations. You know, we all got problems, going through trials, tribulations, but you know, there is a God that cares, and you know, he loves you, whether you know it or not, or whether you want to admit it or not. And whether you don't love him, he still loves you.
That's what's up.
And I'm a witness to that. And you know, I have a couple brothers that, you know, don't you know, agree upon the God thing. And you know, it's unfortunate. You know, daily prayer for them, you know, hoping that things will change, you know, in their minds. But it's a cruel world, man. It's, you know, it's unfortunate, you know, for some of us, you know, middle class, lower class people. So we need all the help we can get. And you know, this is a way of expressing yourself, and we definitely want to hear back. Definitely.
Yeah. So there's so many. Man, them rabbit holes go so deep. And one thing that's good about podcasting, or just broadcasting in general, if you've ever thought about it, because some of you cats out there, man, y'all might be thinking about starting your own podcast, starting your own platform, and you know, it's you can't knock it out the park with every episode in terms of there's so much to talk about, and that's what makes it great, because you're on to the next episode. But yeah, just thinking through so many things that could and can be and will be resolved through conversations, through content that matter to men, and that's our aim, to just be men and to provide solutions through conversations. I think on a deeper level, I won't go too deep into it, but I think there's an attack just on human communication on a global level, just in meaning in general, not just men, but the art of communication. It's the art of it, meaning taking it from a context of knowing how to communicate, but then communication in general, just us knowing how to and wanting to connect. I think that's slowly being sucked out of our society. Nothing wrong with text messages, but even as we talked about earlier, if you shoot me a text, I'm going to read it through my emotional state, not through the truth of what you intended. So your words could be, "Hey brother, I'm on my way. Are you ready?" I could read that because I'm pissed off. I could read that as, "Man, why you rushing me? It did not say I was going to be ready." All he was doing was trying to check in. You see what I'm saying? So it's this idea, man, that we got all these emojis jumping off. We got text messages, emails. We got voice text, voice messages. And a lot of things are shorthanded. Like we take our English language, and someone said that we not even speaking English, is just we speaking American. But I'm gonna chase that rabbit. But basically, we take words and we make them smaller. Like we'll take thanks and just make it THX. Like little stuff like that we ain't tripping on. But if you sit back and you be like, man, though, everything is dependent on communication. And it's almost like a brick wall. You know, if I take I don't know, I'm trying to think of something. Like if I take a fork and I chip away at a brick wall, you like, yo, man, you ain't never. I mean, that's gonna take you forever. Yeah, but that's the point. It chips away small hits. And then a week go by and you don't really notice. And then 2 months go by and you see a little progress, but you don't really notice. Then a year go by and okay, now there's a little circle right there. You keep chipping 2 years. Wait a minute, I can start to see 5 years. Okay, 10 years, I'm pushing the bricks through and I've broken through. And I see like that's how I see what's happening with our communication as men, as brothers, as humans. Our ability to talk and to have a conversation is being robbed of us slowly and subtle. It's like under the radar. When you can't look a man in the eye and express, articulate thoughts, ideas, if you can't put your emotions into a sentence with clarity and a level of congruency within yourself with the intention to help the other person understand where you're coming from a respectful position, with the intent to bring about unity and to bring about connection and to bring about harmony. But all you understand is, I just need to say something, anything that releases this pressure within me, then there's a problem. Because emotions run our lives. We don't do things logically, we do things emotionally. So if you don't have a grip on your emotions and you can't articulate your emotions, then you're just out of control. Anyway, that's I'm going down a whole nother path, man. But it's like, this is communication, and it's dear to my heart that we teach our men and we be men who exemplify the ability to communicate, to communicate our thoughts, to communicate our emotions, to communicate our vision. Because if you don't have a word for it, and I forgot what the study was, man, but there's a study that's like, anything you don't have a word for, you're not able to, it's not own it, but you're not able to really possess it as yours, if you're not able to have a word for it. So if I say this, right? If I just show you this, and you don't know that you like, if you can't call that a hat, then it'll forever just be like a mystery to you. Like you won't have any use for it. You won't be able to leverage it. Your head might be cold, but because that's not a hat to you, you don't know that by definition it's to cover your head. And so you really can't utilize or leverage anything that you don't have a language for, right? You can't live or leverage anything that you don't have a language for. And so in the community, Black community, Hispanic community, some of our, disenfranchised communities, some of our overlooked communities, some of our forgotten about communities, some of our, oh, to hell with them people, let them kill and rob and destroy each other communities. There is a corruption and a corrosion, if that's the right word, a breaking down of our ability to have words for things on an intellectual level and to really share things. Like, homeboy talk is cool in the hood, but homeboy talk ain't cool when you're trying to get a job with a person that ain't got the same skin color as you do. And they're talking about paying you a salary. That don't fly with them. Homeboy talk is cool when you about to buy a bag of weed, but homeboy talk ain't cool when you sitting in front of a sitting, in a boardroom full of investors who could pull the trigger on signing a check for you to make something happen, but you can't articulate your vision, you can't articulate your ideas, so they don't take you serious because all you have is that homeboy talk. That does something for me, man. I don't know what it does for you, but I'm really sensitive right now to the lack of emphasis put on the skill set of effective communication within our community. We put money behind other stuff. Like we got cats right now, and God bless them, we got folks feeding people all the time, handing out food, handing out socks and goods and services. Like we got a gang of people doing good things, right? Good in the hood. And those things should continue. But a part of, and this is really me just kind of flowing in terms of what I want to bring to this platform, is I want to be the voice of heavy emphasis on educating our young Black men, our young Hispanic men on how to communicate. Because I see that it doesn't fly when you step outside of the hood. And if you aspire to get out of the hood, you're going to have to be able to open your mouth and be able to, and to hold and even command a conversation with people who are considered gatekeepers in our world. The people who let you into college, who hired you for those jobs, who sign off on the scholarship, the donors who might give into something that might benefit you, and so on and so forth. Just being able to, present yourself in a way where it looks like you have some sense about yourself, rather than hood talk. And that's not, let me just say this real quick, that's not an indictment. I come from that. That's why I'm confident to speak to that. And I'm not scared to say that because I come from the homeboy talk. And you'll hear me still use a lot of homeboy talk in this platform because I know that you understand that. But I can also go to a boardroom. I can also sit across from a CEO. I can also do a PowerPoint presentation to a room full of stakeholders and be able to communicate and to articulate in such a way that they look beyond the fact that I'm a Black man. They just see a world-class communicator. Like, this dude communicates. They've even given me the name, I don't even know where it came from, but a couple of years back, he's the voice they listen to. So now I confess that over my life. Like, I'm the voice they listen to, right? So it's crazy that God could take a stutterer and make him a voice that they listen to. It's crazy. It's crazy what God can do. So shout out and salute to God, baby. God can do some amazing things. So don't sleep on God. But what's your thoughts, man? As we start to kind of come to a close here, see the battery running down again. Shout out to not being ready. I ain't even got my power cord. We over here looking at the power, making sure that the camera don't just cut off on us because we ain't even got the power cord to the laptop today, baby. So real and your real raw and uncut version. But any thoughts on communication? Any thoughts on just or even better? For me, communication makes my heart beat when I look at my people. What makes your heart beat when you look at your people?
I'm kind of in the same position, but the funny thing is that communication I've always thought was something that's needed. And for me, myself, I still find it a lot of times that it's hard for me to even communicate. And coming from, the homeboys and stuff like that, growing up, dealing with that, it was always taught like, F this, F that. I don't need to deal with none of this. It's gonna be my way. Right. Yes. I can do it this way. I can be ghetto and get through this and still do all that. How come I can't be that? Yep. Well, you got to change something.
Yes. Something.
You can't just think you're just gonna walk up in there with a blue red rag and think you just gonna get a job, or you're gonna get these investors to invest in you. Right. I mean, the only thing that you got going that you're gonna be able to do that with is the rap game. And you know what? Who makes it? I mean, how many of us do?
Right.
You know, and that's something that, you know, you can't live forever. Like, that's it's you got to change your ways, change your vocabulary. It doesn't hurt to do that.
Wow.
And that's part of learning. You know, you can't just sit here and think you're just going to get a high school degree and just want that regular job. Hey, nothing wrong with it. But if you want that simple life,
Right.
hey, kudos to you.
Yeah, right.
But I'm looking for, you know, world changing things.
Yeah.
I'm looking for, you know, I want to be well off. I want my kids to be well off. Yeah. You know, I want my family, my friends to be well off.
Yes.
You know, and progressing every day. You know, you wake up, you got to have some type of drive to do better, to be better. Yeah. You know, and I still catch myself at work at times, you know, wanting to cuss out the manager because he didn't do it my way. Right. You know, or I have to do it his way. Right. You know, having to, you know, take orders from people, you know, and everybody's got that little thing about them, you know, taking orders.
Yes, sir.
It's a big thing, you know, and I'm sure everybody goes through it in every job, you know. If somebody telling you to do something, you're like, but you do it.
Yeah, but
you do it because you need it. And otherwise, you know, in high school, when you didn't tell you, no, I'm not going to do it. Right. Your butt fired. Now you ain't got no money. And so you learn your lesson. Yes. You know? Yes. So it's the communication definitely, it's something that's so valuable, especially for men. A lot of men are not taught to communicate, to express themselves. And that's why we're opening this platform, because, you know, I feel like we need to, as men, as Black men, as Hispanic men, we need to control our emotions and express ourselves the right way. Yes. You know, letting it boil up inside you, holding it in, is doing nothing, no good for you, no good at all. And you're just gonna explode one day. You're not gonna know what happened. You're gonna get your butt in some trouble, some real trouble. Right. Yeah. And I'm a witness to that. I have experienced that many times. Right. So, you know, and it's a challenge. It's a challenge to open your mouth. It's a challenge to express your feelings, but you need that. You do. Men need that. Absolutely. Desperately. Yes. Desperately. Yes.
Well, yeah, and I think a part of it is feeling safe. Feeling safe to talk, because I think, and in fact, if you're listening, I'm gonna go on record. I know you have brilliant ideas. I know you have world-changing ideas. You have, this ain't just Jeff Bezos. This ain't just Elon. You got a world-class idea that could not only make you wealthy, but make generations of you wealthy. And I get it that you are afraid to share that with people around you. Because of the history. Every time you share something, people shoot you down. And so much goes into that. Again, we don't see things as they are, we see them as we are. So you're getting a lot of their opinion, which we talked about earlier, but then you're also getting hate because it's the crab in the barrel mentality. We don't want to see our people rise. And that's another episode, because that's all been, that was a systematic mentality that has plagued us for more than 400 years. That was embedded. That was a chip embedded in us. And we just continue to pass that crap down through the generations. But the safety, man, if I share this, will I get constructive criticism or constructive feedback? Because if you came to me and said, yeah, man, I'm gonna call this game, this show, Game So Separately, right? Okay, I could say, man, that's some BS. Or I could say, you know what? I don't like it. But listen, man, if God gave that to you and you really feel passionate and strongly about that name and that approach, then try it out for 6 months. Call your show that for 6 months, put it out there, network it, shop it around, increase your listenership, ask your audience, see what other people think, put it out there, see if it's successful, see if it works. Then you have some data to then do a thorough analysis on, because now you've tested it, right? A lot of times, man, we take people's opinion and boom, we're done, because they said no with their little non-knowing very much of anything anyway self, and now we just shot down. We all butt hurt, and we just done. The more wise approach is giving yourself, and this was something that I was taught by, my coach, give everything a 90-day trial. Everything. Try it for 90 days. Because who are you to say it won't work until you've given it time to work? Yeah. Try it, test it. Now you've collected data. Many times, and if you guys are not familiar with this, and this is a part of what I really want to infuse into this platform, are words that many of our people are not familiar with, right? So I'm not calling nobody dumb or unintelligent. I'm just saying, I didn't know it, so maybe you don't know it. 2 words, subjective and objective. Many times subjective is from me, out. Objective is from out, in. Okay. So many times we will subjectively make a comment or look at something, and it's all about me. So you will always try to up you. Well, I like the show. I like the name. It's a damn good name. I'm keeping it because I like it. That's subjective, because it's coming from you out. It's all about what you want, what you think, what you like, what you think is dope, what you think is okay. That's a choice. You could go subjective. Objective is, what does the marketplace say about your show? What does your listeners say about your show? What does, like, the data, the proof, right? We said the proof is in the pudding. Well, the pudding is a process. You have to put something together to create pudding. Well, pudding, you got to put it together first. Yeah. Then you can extract the proof, because you've created the pudding. Most of us, we say we're not going to create no pudding. The very first opinion that we get, we either shoot it down or we become bullheaded and we go subjective and we say, I'm going to do this regardless of what anyone thinks. And so there's this medium of feeling good about what you want to put out and then giving it time to bake, see the results, and then make adjustments, make tweaks to it. So yeah, man, I agree. With what you're saying, just around just that need for us to just really, have, conversations, for us to really have connections, for us to have a space where we can get some of this objective feedback, objective criticism. I did want to ask you before the time runs out on the clock, the name, the concept, game sold separately. Earlier we talked about Proverbs, about wise counsel. Let me go back. Game sold separately. The way you explained it to me was, we're the console, like a game console, and the game, the inner workings, and you can explain it much better than me. So here, why don't you explain it one more time, and then I have a question based upon the scripture. That way I don't butcher it, because it came out of your heart. So explain the concept again, game sold separately.
So basically, God's given, each of us a console, an Xbox, a PlayStation, whatever you want to call it. He's given us this console, this body, and the game sold separately. Basically, we are providing information. That's the game. We're providing information for others, for life, basically. And what we take as payment is your time to listen, feedback. If so, that's the payment to us, and we are providing this information, hoping that it'll better you in life, for you to take chances, be on the good path, the right path, be successful, helping out family, friends, to one man teach the next. And our men are failing, and we need some type of platform where we could reach out to men and help them in this process, help them in this life, to enjoy life and enjoy it the right way with God. God gave us this console to have fun. This is to enjoy life. Life is not supposed to be dealt with day in, day out of stressful things going on in life. We got to get rid of that depression, that stressfulness, because stress kills you too. So, and I've been through times where things went crazy. I felt like going crazy, and men don't have that outlet. So we want to bring this outlet to this. So this is the game that we're providing.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. So number one, you did a great job of explaining that, and that's really our hope for you, to be able to have a dream, and then be able to articulate it on that level. The Bible talks about the fact that if a person doesn't have a vision, then they perish. That scripture is translated where the people have no vision, they have no goal, then they cast off restraints. That's an actual translation. They cast off restraints. Restraints are disciplines, mindsets, structures to help guide the course of your life. So in other words, unless you have a vision or a goal out there as a young man, then there's nothing to regulate your emotions. Our emotions are regulated by goal setting. If you have no goal, then you have no incentive to regulate yourself. If you have no vision, no goal, you have no incentive to act right. And that's why you get brothers wilding out, because they have no vision, they have no goal. Your goal, your vision orientates you. It tells you how far off you are. And through the knowledge of how far off you are, you can then use your emotions in a positive way to propel you toward that goal. And that's a part of what we're going to be sharing with you, on this platform. But without that vision, man, you just have no incentive to do right. You will not give a damn. Trust me. I've been on the side of not giving a damn. You will be on the side of I don't give a damn, because of what do you have to lose, right? But my man articulated it like you not only have a vision, but you articulated it, which is the next level. Having it and then being able to say it with consistency and with conviction and with clarity, so that someone else might understand it, right? Okay. So the game is sold separately. It's going to cost you something. And so one of the things that got me super excited about this platform is we get to be straightforward. All the fluff, all the upselling, all the click funnels and the click this and click that, and hope we get to bypass all that crap and say, if you give of your time, that's all it's going to cost you. Like, if you give of your time, it means something. I forgot who once said this. You want to know a man's priority? Check his, in a sense, bank statements. Basically, see where his money is going and see where his time is going. That's the proof of what matters to you. As a man, I want to see where your money going, and I want to see where your time is going. That you ain't got to open your mouth at all. If I see where you are the most, and if I see what you're spending on the most, I know what's priority to you. And so what we're looking to do is inspire you to give a damn about you. Give your time to you, invest in you. And the Bible is telling us, man, I don't care if you read the Bible or not. I'm just giving you the game. This is a pretty good book. It's gotten us pretty doggone far, okay? And we're going to be sharing more of our testimonies and our backgrounds in episodes to come. But the Bible tells us, man, without good advice, if you don't get no good advice, your ideas, they just won't happen. They will not happen. There are no self-made nothings. It does not exist. It does not exist. I was on IG last night, and in the girl's bio, she's a self-made. No, stop it. Nothing is self-made. That is impossible. It is fundamentally impossible to be anything. Why? You didn't get here by yourself. It is fundamental to your existence that you cannot do anything on your own because you didn't come here on your own. Anything that you accomplish is still a byproduct of your existence. So it is fundamentally impossible to be self-made. Anything you accomplish, 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures, your mama and daddy still is a part of that. You can't self-make nothing. Your mama and daddy is still a part of that. And if you want to go deep, God is still a part of that. Because without his spiritual permission, you ain't even coming into existence. So anyway, that's my soapbox. I'm gonna go ahead and get off of it. There are no self-nothing. Stop it. You are not an island. You are not that dope. None of us are. Ask any successful man or woman. They got help. Yeah. So the Bible tells us, this is what the Bible says, that without good advice, your ideas, they just won't happen. But you will do well. AKA you will succeed if you have many advisors. And we already broke it down earlier about many advisors and how you go about advisors or getting advisors. So as it related to, the game sold separately, it's like we're here, we're providing game. You don't have to listen to us, but we're here. And if you're watching this one and you're listening to this one, now it's in there. Now your excuses are gone.